Awaken to hair growth. Awaken to hair growth because there is possibility to get your hair back. Awaken to hair growth because we're not told that we're able to conquer and overcome alopecia. Awaken to hair growth because I want to be a positive light and beacon for you because I've healed my alopecia and now I help others do the same with different types of alopecia, men, women, children of all ages, of all races and ethnicities. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Alopecia Angel podcast. Today, we are talking about integrity and how living in it is so important to your health. And integrity is one of those buzzwords that we throw around sometimes without even really recognizing or realizing the importance of it. Now, integrity is saying what you mean and doing what you say. So essentially, it's being 100% honest and truth to your word. So if you say, I'm going to go pick up the groceries tomorrow, you're going to pick up the groceries tomorrow. If you say, I'm going to take a walk and walk with the dog tomorrow, you're going to walk the dog and take a walk with the dog tomorrow. And many times we say things and we don't hold ourselves accountable. We don't hold ourselves accountable to ourselves. And we also accept professionals to be out of integrity as well. So for example, I recently saw a doctor and I was getting a specialist review of my situation, not alopecia related. This was just physical health. In an earlier podcast, I had mentioned that my regular GP said I needed surgery and then all of a sudden I didn't. And so in any case, long story short, I don't need surgery and I'm good to go. But kudos for that. But at the same time, the specialist gave me his attention, gave me more than 15 minutes of his time, gave me full attention, full importance. He didn't rush me. He listened to me. He allowed me to vent. He allowed me to talk. He allowed me the space and gave me room to really acknowledge my feelings and acknowledge my thoughts and my fears and anything else that was coming up for me at that time. And I will say that that's very rare and very remarkable at the same time because when you're a doctor, when you're in healthcare, that's what we need to do. We need to listen to our patients and clients. We need to be aware and be in tune with them and give extra time because people need time and need help and need, compassion and grace and need so much from health professionals. And not just from health professionals, but literally from everybody, from any professional, from any work environment. I personally expect integrity. So for example, I came across some people who I know, and one person was talking to the other person about losing weight and how weight loss was so important for this person. And the other person, though, is overweight. And I told the person who was overweight, look, you can't speak to her, this other person, right, about weight loss if you yourself don't live that, if you yourself don't have that integrity, if you yourself don't have the discipline, if you yourself are above a certain body mass index, if you yourself are overweight and not healthy and not at your optimal state. And we all have optimal states and we can all reach those optimal states. We all have a choice in terms of our health. We all have a choice in terms of how we live, what we feed ourselves, and so much more. And living in integrity is so key to our success, but not just for us, but then also from the help we receive from others, because, you can't reach the finish line without getting help from others. That's just the truth of the matter, right? I wouldn't be able to live with a peace of mind had the specialist not told me that everything was okay, right? And so his help that helped me have peace of mind and know that I'm good to go. I'm super healthy and I've got nothing to worry about. I just need to keep going and keep leveling up and keep doing what I'm doing because I'm on the right path, right? For example, I remember back in college, I would see coaches of all sports and they weren't living in integrity. They were not eating healthy. They were not drinking healthy beverages. And the way they carried themselves, the way they approached the athletes, the way they approached their, let's say, personal training clients or anyone else was not living in integrity. It's so critical. Really, it is. It's so critical to receive information, to receive help, to receive anything from someone who's living in integrity, because then sometimes you'll be left in the dust, left and ghosted, left and having issues with that integrity. Personally, I look for people who walk the walk and talk the talk. And walking the walk and talk the talk is not always easy. It's not always the easy way, but it is the best way. It's the best way for me. It's the best way for you. It's the best way for everybody. It really is. Because once you live in integrity, then the boundaries are set. The respect is there. And people know how far and how little they can work with you, not work with you, how far you'll go, how flexible you are, so on and so forth. So for example, in parenting, if the parent keeps saying, yeah, we'll go to the toy store tomorrow, once you make your bed, once you do your chores, once you eat all the food off your plate, once you do this, once you do that, and then let's say the child does everything and the parent still says, oh, so sorry, I'm tired. We're not going to go to the toy store. We're going to leave that for another day. Well, that's not being in integrity. Then the child is already set up to understand the parent knows, or it's already set up that the parent will falter on their word and will not come through. This is important as a parent, but then also as a human, as a person, as a friend, as a daughter, as a sibling, as a spouse, as a partner, as anything else. And even, especially from health professionals and from people who are helping you and from the services you acquire. So for example, yesterday was my first day back at Pilates. For those of you who don't know, I'm certified in both Pilates and yoga. I no longer teach. However, I do definitely still take yoga classes and I still love Pilates classes, but because of a move and because of a pregnancy, I was unable, and then a COVID, of course, I was unable to continue Pilates. And so yesterday was my first day back. And for sure, I'm sore today, very, very sore. But I absolutely love how Pilates makes me feel. I absolutely love the community and I love upgrading my health. And on another note, when you stick to the path that you are on, it doesn't mean that it has to be linear 100%. There are detours, there are deviations, there are detours in life. Things happen, right? You can lose a job, you can get pregnant, you can move, and all these things take you away from a routine. But that doesn't mean you don't live in integrity. That doesn't mean that caring for your health stops. And so there's always ways to upgrade yourself and to help your hair and to help your health and take you to that next stage, even if it's at a slow pace. And so the other thing I wanted to talk about today was also acknowledging that we're all on our own pace, that we're all on our own race. We're not comparing ourselves to each other. We're not using each other as a comparison mark or as a gauge at all, because that's not it. Just because I took 3 years to get my hair back, or more, actually, more than 3 years, that doesn't mean you do. You can get it in less time, just like my clients do. They get it in less time. It's really about going at your own pace, implementing what you can, and having the grace and compassion to see that and to keep incrementing, even if it's little by little, even if it's minute increment, little by little, and do so that you can continue to be in integrity and you can continue to move forward, because that's what we want. We want you to move forward. We want you to be healthy. We want you to see hair growth. But at the same time, we all have our own pace and we all have our own situations. We all have our own blind spots. We all have our own circumstances, right? Just because even between siblings, right? My health looks different than my brother's health, than my sister's health, and it's all very different. And so you need to look at that and, tweak where possible, take control where possible, and make the modifications when possible as well. Because that's what this is all about. This is all about evaluating you, taking you into consideration, and doing as much as you can on a daily basis without reprimanding yourself, without feeling guilty, without these negative thoughts or beliefs in your head. We want to annihilate all that and move forward into the positivity and into the optimism, because healing is possible for you, just like it is for me, just like it is for anyone else who wants to heal. And I talk about this in this last podcast episode about healing and how it's a choice, because it truly is. So in conclusion, live in integrity, do what you can with what you have, and move forward. Even if it's just a little bit, even if it's just baby steps, even if it's just one more action item. One more action item brings you closer and closer and closer to your end goal. And that's the key to success, is to do as much as you can each and every day, as much as you can. And, without feeling guilty, without feeling bad, and moving forward, right? We all need a guide. We all need help. None of us are born with a manual on how to reverse alopecia. None of us are born with a manual on how to parent. None of us are born with manuals on how to, swim or how to ride a bicycle. However, we can all learn these things. And we all learn these things from people with experience. And we all learn these things from people who've been there and done that. I look forward to talking to you and seeing you on the next episode of Alopecia Angel Podcast, Awaken to Hair Growth. All the best. Take care. Thank you for listening to the Alopecia Angel Podcast, a positive light in healing alopecia. You can do this and we can help. Spread the word that reversing alopecia is possible by telling your friends and family.